Welcome to Royal Secret. In a moment that stunned the royal world and sent shockwaves across Europe's elite, Queen Mary of Denmark, usually poised, polished, and graceful under pressure, was reportedly left speechless. The reason? Her husband, King Frederik X of Denmark, took the stage and delivered a bombshell revelation about their relationship, one that no one, not even Mary herself, saw coming. What exactly did Denmark's new monarch say? Was it a confession? A royal truth long hidden behind palace walls? Or was it the kind of public declaration that could either warm hearts or spark controversy across royal households? What followed next was a whirlwind of speculation, media frenzy, and intimate details that peeled back the veil on one of Europe's most beloved royal couples. Today, we take you deep inside this jaw-dropping royal moment, unpacking King Frederik's unexpected announcement, Queen Mary's real-time reaction, and the storm of emotions and secrets that are now at the center of the Danish monarchy. So, settle in, because what you're about to hear is not just a royal update. It's the kind of emotional, behind-the-scenes story that brings the fairy tale, and the friction, of royal life into full view. It happened at what should have been a routine royal engagement, an event attended by dignitaries, diplomats, and Danish citizens alike. The occasion was billed as a celebration of unity and national pride under the reign of Denmark's newly crowned king and queen. But nothing could prepare the audience, or Queen Mary, for what was about to unfold. As King Frederik X took the stage, there was the usual royal protocol. The applause, the smiles, the polished charisma he has come to be known for since ascending the throne in January 2024. But then, as he neared the end of his speech, the tone shifted. He paused, looked toward Queen Mary, seated just off stage, radiant as ever in a sleek white gown, her eyes focused on him with both affection and curiosity. And then he said it. "I owe everything, my strength, my sense of duty, my heart, to the woman who stands beside me, who has walked with me through storms and sunshine alike. I have not said this publicly before, but today, the time feels right. The truth is, I would not be standing here, as your king, had it not been for Mary." The room went silent. Even Queen Mary, composed as she is known to be, seemed momentarily frozen. The surprise was written all over her face. And then came the real kicker. "There was a time," Frederik continued, "when I doubted whether this life, this destiny, was something I could truly accept. But Mary believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. She gave me the courage to be the man, and the monarch, Denmark needed." With those words, King Frederik did more than just praise his wife. He cracked open a chapter of their relationship that had rarely been spoken about in public. Observers noted that this was no ordinary tribute. This wasn't a prepared statement, vetted by palace advisors or PR consultants. This was raw, personal, intimate, and perhaps most revealing of all. It hinted at past doubts, vulnerabilities, and quiet struggles that both Frederik and Mary had long kept hidden from public view. Let's rewind a bit, because to understand the weight of Frederik's statement, we must revisit the remarkable, and sometimes rocky, love story between the Tasmanian-born Mary Donaldson and the Danish prince who changed her life. They met during the 2000 Sydney Olympics, a modern-day fairy tale encounter that seemed scripted by fate. Mary, then a 28-year-old marketing executive, had no idea the man she was speaking to in a crowded pub was actually Crown Prince Frederik of Denmark. Their chemistry was instant. But their journey, anything but simple. Mary had to uproot her life, learn Danish, adapt to a royal code of conduct that often felt more isolating than glamorous. She was dubbed an outsider by skeptics and endured intense scrutiny from both the media and the public. And then there was Frederik, known during his bachelor years for his love of adventure, extreme sports, and, according to some biographers, an ambivalence toward the burdens of monarchy. There were whispers, even among palace insiders, that Frederik was reluctant to fully embrace his destiny. That he struggled with the expectations placed on his shoulders. That he often leaned on Mary for emotional strength and clarity. Now, with his public speech, that theory seems to be confirmed. Back in the royal event hall, all eyes were on Queen Mary as Frederik's words echoed through the chamber. At first, she looked stunned. Then, her expression softened. Viewers watching the livestream noticed a subtle change in her posture, the way she leaned slightly forward, her hands clasped, a look in her eyes that could only be described as deeply moved. Some royal analysts described it as the most emotional moment in Danish royal history since Queen Margrethe's abdication. For a queen known for her calm, composed demeanor, this was a rare moment of vulnerability. She didn't need to say a word. Her eyes said it all. Later, when asked by a Danish reporter how she felt about the king's words, Queen Mary smiled and said, "It was unexpected, but deeply beautiful." Still, behind that smile, many royal watchers couldn't help but wonder, what else was running through her mind? Was this public admission a relief, a validation, or was it a surprise that stirred up old emotions and memories from the earliest days of their romance? Royal commentators quickly began dissecting King Frederik's remarks. Was this merely a romantic tribute, or a carefully timed message aimed at shaping the public's perception of their marriage? Some experts believe Frederik's words were designed to do both. On one hand, they painted a touching portrait of loyalty and love, a husband openly crediting his wife with saving him from inner doubts. On the other hand, they also repositioned the Queen as a powerful figure behind the throne. Not just Denmark's first Australian-born royal, but a woman whose emotional intelligence and steadfastness directly influenced the future of the monarchy. This is crucial in a time when European monarchies are under increasing pressure to modernize, connect with their citizens, and present authentic, human leadership. By acknowledging Mary's role, Frederik was, according to one former royal aide, rebranding the monarchy not as a one-man institution, but a partnership. A modern marriage, a modern monarchy, and perhaps, a subtle warning to those who underestimate the Queen's influence. For years, royal fans have viewed Queen Mary and King Frederik as the ultimate fairy tale couple, poised, elegant, and united. But behind the palace walls, their path hasn't always been easy. And now, with King Frederik's recent heartfelt speech, a door has been opened, allowing us to peer into the shadows of a royal love story that hasn't always been as polished as it appeared. What did they truly endure behind closed doors? And why is this revelation coming now? From the moment Mary Donaldson said yes to a life in Denmark, she faced an uphill battle. Moving from Australia to one of the oldest monarchies in Europe was not just a cultural shock, it was a political and emotional landmine. The Danish royal court, known for its rigid traditions and unspoken rules, wasn't prepared for a strong, independent foreigner. And while the public celebrated their engagement in 2003, palace insiders whispered doubts. She's not Danish. She didn't grow up with protocol. She's too modern. These were just some of the murmurs surrounding Mary as she transitioned from an ordinary citizen to crown princess. At official functions, she was scrutinized, her Danish pronunciation, her posture, her outfits. Every smile, every slip of the tongue became front-page news. Even her romantic life was picked apart. Was she appropriate for a future king? Could she bear the weight of centuries-old expectations? It wasn't just the press. Some members of the royal household were reportedly skeptical, even resistant, to fully accepting her. There were rumors of icy receptions at palace events, and moments when Mary felt more like a guest in the kingdom than its future queen. While Mary wrestled with her own adjustment, Frederik was fighting personal demons of his own. For decades, the Danish press documented his struggle with royal duty. As a young prince, Frederik was dubbed the party prince. His love of nightlife, racing, and extreme sports made him a tabloid favorite, and a source of concern for traditionalists. Unlike his disciplined brother Prince Joachim, Frederik appeared restless, sometimes aloof, and unsure if he truly wanted the crown that had been destined for him since birth. One royal biographer revealed, there were periods when Frederik openly questioned whether he wanted to be king at all. He admired his mother, Queen Margrethe, but he dreaded the same life of rigid obligation and national scrutiny. Enter Mary, a woman who, from the beginning, offered not just love, but balance. Friends close to the couple have said that Mary's grounding presence helped Frederik find a new rhythm. She brought a sense of stability and purpose to his chaotic royal life. And yet, even in marriage, the struggle didn't completely vanish. There were moments when the pressure intensified, particularly after the birth of their children. Suddenly, their image wasn't just symbolic, it was the foundation for Denmark's future monarchy. In 2023, when Queen Margrethe II announced her abdication, a decision that surprised even some within the palace, Frederik and Mary were thrust into the spotlight like never before. The transition wasn't just ceremonial, It was emotional. Queen Margrethe had ruled for over 5 decades. Her departure marked the end of an era, and the beginning of a new one that many worried Frederik might not be ready for. But behind the scenes, something shifted. Mary wasn't just a support system, she became a strategist, a modernizer, a calming force as Denmark adjusted to its new monarchs. And this, experts now believe, was the root of Frederik's emotional speech, a public acknowledgement of a truth long known privately, that Mary didn't just support him. She transformed him. The Danish media exploded following Frederik's candid declaration. Major headlines read, "A king's heartfelt confession, the queen who saved his crown, Frederik's tribute leaves Mary in tears, a nation applauds." The power behind the throne. Mary's quiet revolution. Commentators across Scandinavia and beyond praised Frederik's vulnerability. In a royal landscape often criticized for being out of touch or emotionally sterile, the king's moment of raw honesty was a rare, and welcome, shift. Danish citizens took to social media to express admiration. "I've never been more proud to be Danish. Our king is not afraid to show his feelings. Queen Mary has always been an icon, but now we know, she's the backbone of our monarchy." Finally, a royal couple who feels real. Others, especially royal historians, noted how rare such moments are in modern monarchies. In contrast to the stoicism of Britain's King Charles III or the traditional reserve of Sweden's King Carl XVI Gustaf, Frederik's openness marked a new chapter in emotional authenticity. Queen Mary and King Frederik are parents to 4 children, Prince Christian, Princess Isabella, and twins Prince Vincent and Princess Josephine. And now, more than ever, their parenting style is under the microscope. Observers believe Frederik's tribute was not only for his wife, but also a quiet message to his son and heir, Prince Christian, who turned 18 in 2023 and is slowly preparing for his own royal responsibilities. By showing vulnerability and humility, Frederik is modeling a different kind of monarchy, says royal analyst Ingrid Clausen. He's showing Christian that strength isn't about control, it's about honesty. This emotional blueprint could help shape a new generation of royals, one more in tune with the people and more authentic in leadership. Queen Mary, meanwhile, has continued to quietly champion causes close to her heart, from children's welfare to gender equality. And behind the scenes, she's believed to be involved in decisions that directly shape the monarchy's future path. Her influence, once questioned, is now undeniable. Thanks for watching.